The Italian dream, Mr. Vettori. How are you, sir? You well?
I'm well, man. I'm good. Today's going to be a rough day, as always, but we're going to go through it, and tomorrow is fun.
Well, I appreciate you accommodating me on weight cut day. Of all the days to be interviewing a fighter, I always find these the craziest of days because your mind...
It's early, at least. I'm still drinking, it's okay.
You are the king of the changed opponent, the changed dates, the changed bout amount of rounds. This is just another thing for you, isn't it? You know what I mean? You're used to this. You're used to having these crazy things pop up as you're preparing for a particular opponent.
Yeah. What is supposed to not be normal became normal. Yeah.
How'd you deal with it, man? Because, like you say, you've spent time in camp now preparing for Darren, preparing for one particular fighter, and then all of a sudden, 10 days out, you're fighting another guy.
Man, to be honest, overall, the main thing is that one guy is Southpaw, the other one is Orthodox. But what I was, to be honest, I think Darren was a harder fight in a sense. Not to underestimate Holland, but it was a little bit of a trickier fight, in my opinion. And, it changed and a little bit of adjustment. Right when they told me that I was fighting a different opponent, we changed some stuff in the training, and that's it, man. I mean, being a good fighter means you can adjust easily. You can you have the ability to overcome even like those changes, and overall, I don't think it was that much of a problem, to be honest. Like, I feel I'm by far the most versatile fighter in the middleweight division. And, that's why I feel like I match up well with all these guys. And yeah, I mean, changed a couple of stuff, but, fighting is fighting. The art of war is the art of war, So
I think from a fan's point of view, that's the attitude that fans fall in love with, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's not a case of picking and choosing when you're fighting, guys. At the end of the day, if you class yourself as the best, then you're ready to go at any time, any place, anywhere. It doesn't matter whether it's 10 days, 10 weeks, whatever it may be. If you want to be the best, you've got to be ready to go.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and that's it. Yeah, that's what we don't see that much anymore. But I'm standing by that code for sure.
Well, we appreciate it, man. As fight fans, we appreciate it for this weekend that you stood by that code. I saw in the press conference yesterday you were having a little bit of fun with everybody and casting suspicions on Mr. Till's injury. Come on, man, talk me through it, man. You know that he hurt himself, don't you?
It's funny. Well, so my suspicions was coming from the fact that he didn't prove that he broke it. Like, he just said, "Oh, I broke my collarbone," and then went silent. And then, all of a sudden, Brunson gets pushed up this high, and I'm like, I think, he kind of sees that maybe Brunson is a better fight. But it's funny because we actually had like a little conversation privately, like two things, like just two phrases, and he sent me those. Like, he basically tagged me privately on the pictures of his X-ray, and I'm like, well, at least that, that's what I said. But he, as much as you can say, oh, I don't, he broke his collarbone, there's nothing to blame. The responsibility to show up is still on him. We're elite, and this stuff is not easy. Like, fighting is not easy. Getting prepared for such a high level fight is not easy, and going through these old things throughout even this COVID era is not easy. We knew that, but you signed up for it, and the responsibility to show up is still on you. So I get it. It was an accident, but still, and accident might happen for a lot of reasons. With that being said, it's all right. I have another fight. I already changed my mindset. My mind is already set on somebody else, and that's it. I mean, I just, Darren just recover, and we'll see what's up next. We'll see.
I'm sure your paths will cross again, my man. Did he send you those messages in the last 24 hours then? Did he send you the picture of the
X-ray? Yeah. Right after the press conference. And that's when, I'm like, you know what? Now I'm just closing out social media in general, and I haven't watched social media since then. I don't even know what's happening right now. I'm off that stuff, and great, to be honest. It's feeling great. But yeah, he sent me those pictures, and I said, well, at least that, at least you've proven it. And then, he said, oh, something like, oh, no need to trash talk now. He said a bunch of stuff, but yeah.
Good, man. Listen, before I talk about this fight of the weekend, I want to just give a little bit more of a rounded view to our viewers as to you as a fighter. Obviously, you left Italy when you were a young guy, still teenager, and you came to our country. You came to London, man. You chose well.
London used to be my house for a couple of years.
That's it. Well, talk to me about that there, because you were here for 2 years. You were working normal jobs, as well as training and fighting before you went to Kings. All right. So talk to me about those 2 years and how they shaped you, not only as a fighter but as a man.
Yeah. Oh man, they were. I always remember those years as probably the hardest years of my life, to be honest, because I'm from a small town and I just left. I just had this dream and I left, and I just went to London 1 week throughout. I still was in high school, and I went for 1 week to train in London along the shoot fighter throughout the Christmas holidays that they were giving me, basically. And I went there, and from that moment, I remember one moment where I just laid down on the mat, and after getting beat up by a lot of guys there, and I'm like, this is where I will be for to follow what I want to do. And then finish high school, and right away basically leave. I finished high school was June, and then August I was already in London. And on that week before, I met an Iranian wrestler, and so I ended up sleeping on the couch on his room in Neasden, on some house of he had a room, and I was sleeping on the couch. And man, so that was my life for 6 months. And I was waking up in the morning, bringing away CV, old school stuff. I was so naive in a sense, come from a small town. That's all that's how I was seeing it. And then started training right away. And it was hard because at the time, literally nobody would know me. I was just a guy, and I showed up at the gym. And the beginning, I was just in the class with everybody else. And then they see I'm there every single day, twice a day, and I'm not leaving the gym until it's late night. And eventually they put me with the pros, and then and then I learn and learn, and then So yeah, that my life was working as a bouncer, 4 times a week, and then those times that I was training 1 time a day, I would just leave and then come back late at night, sleep, and go back to the training the day after, and then on weekends training long shifts and making a living and just training working to train and live, and that was my life for 2 years.
Marvin, it's obviously built an unbelievable amount of resilience in you, because again we kind of forget your age as well. You've grown up in the UFC. You were there as a young guy in your early 20s, and you've grown up right in front of our eyes and developed in front of our eyes. A lot of guys, they don't get to the UFC till they're in their prime, you know what I mean, or in their 30s or whatever it may be. You've been there since a young guy. You've talked to us about your time in London, which was a character building experience. I know that you probably don't at this stage of your career just take a little bit of a step back and remember all those things, but it is a pretty mad journey, man. You've been on a mad journey to get to where you're at right now.
It's crazy. And I mean, still nowadays, one of the things I feel, I don't feel bad anymore for those things, but I used to think about those stuff for a long time. I remember that almost after 7 or 8 months being in London, somebody told me about, there's an app for so if the bus is actually coming or not. Because before that, I was just wait for hours. Buses would never show up. And I was I'll remember those days, and I will never forget these days. I will always use them as fuel, And it's just, I came from a small town. I didn't know how to move in the city. I'm just guessing a lot of but it's all worked out for the better,
It has, man. Now you're at the top of the tree, main eventing against Kevin Holland at the weekend. Before I talk about Kevin, I want to talk about the division in general, because the conversation coming out the champion, Israel Adesanya, a lot recently has been Darren Till, Darren Till, Darren Till, Darren Till. Why not Marvin Vettori, Marvin Vettori, Marvin Vettori? Why is Marvin's name not mentioned?
This guy has been throwing like hints at me for a long time, it's been provoking me for a while, but in a subtle way a little bit, like doing shit like this, putting pizza on stuff. So like putting pizzas on pictures, showing up with pizza, never mentioning my name, and I think it's a strategy on his side to try to make me mad, and at the same time, he won't even mention my name at all. He would say the Italian guy, like he doesn't know my name, I don't really think that he likes the idea of fighting me again, so it's okay, man. Like, I'll do my thing Saturday night, and then I think I'll see him very soon.
Well, on that, a win at the weekend, does that get you a title shot in your opinion next?
I just have to go out and put on a very good performance, and I don't think. And then the week after, my teammate Kelvin's fighting Whitaker. Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens there. I think Kelvin has a very good chance, but I think I'm by far the hungriest. I'm by far the one that wants it more, and I think I deserve it, man. Like, this guy cannot show up, and a lot of guys are falling through. Like, Costa was supposed to fight Whitaker, can't make it. Darren Till didn't make it. Jared County, I don't know. It's been pretty. I don't know. I haven't heard of him in a while.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm next. Next. Like, Brunson got pushed up so high because he just beat Kevin Holland in that kind of way. I'm gonna go out and beat him in a very different way, and so I think I deserve that shot. And seeing the fight that I had with him, the first fight we had together, I think that's the fight that had to be remade as ASAP. So yeah, man, I think I do deserve it, and I'll call for my shot after the fight. But now, nothing matters until I smash this guy Saturday.
Did the performance that you put in against Jack Hermanson confirm to you how good you are? I know that you would have already had belief of how good you are.
Yeah. No,
but to actually do it.
Exactly. Yeah, to do it is different. Yeah, I think it unlocked. I came to know myself more deeply too. Like you said, to do it is different. It's like you can train as much as you want to go to war, but to go to war, it's a whole different thing. To go to war for that long is like, so it's definitely, man. I'm much improved from the last fight. You guys will see.
Are you ready for a conversation in the middle of the fight? Because you know that Kevin likes to have a chat.
I'll do my thing, I'll do me, and whatever he wants to do and whatever he thinks they're going to help him in the fight, he can do. But to be honest with you, I don't think there's going to be that much of talking in our fight. I think he'll be a little bit different, I think he'll be more worried about taking care of himself.
What did you make of his performance against Brunson a couple of weeks ago?
It wasn't great. Let's put it that way. It wasn't that good, He showed a lot of weaknesses. He showed a lot of lack of abilities in mental and technical abilities. Is not to underestimate anyway. This guy is so wild. He doesn't. I don't think he knows what he's gonna do the moment he walks into the cage. He just feels himself. So you always have to be prepared. You always have to be worried for a guy that is wild and is really like. You always have to be prepared for the unknown, and it's. You have to be careful of those things. And so I'm not underestimating the guy. I'm taking it very seriously. And that's it. But with that said, I think I'm really superior as a fighter.
Final one, Marvin. Obviously, here on BT Sport in the UK and across Europe, we're getting you at a prime time, man. We don't have to get up in the middle of the night to watch you fight. For you in Vegas, you're fighting in the middle of the afternoon, man. That's a crazy thing.
Yeah. But I'm look, I'm lucky. I'm the main event. I get to fight like 2-3 p.m. Like, these guys are fighting 8 a.m. That's way worse, So, yeah. But I'm happy. Coach Italy, same thing. They don't have to wake up in the middle of the night. It's gonna be the middle of the like prime time in the night, and I'm looking forward to that.
Listen, we'll go well, my man. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Have a safe weight cut. We look forward to seeing you on the scales tomorrow, and then on Saturday it's showtime. So enjoy it, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.